And welcome to another episode of Dawson and 5incos. This is episode number 39.
God damn.
30, 34. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
I know what you're not, David. You're not good at accents.
What an accent. I'm a good at accent. I translated that one before, right?
My slider's going up my nose.
Well, welcome to another episode of Dawson and 5incos. As always, I'm your host, David.
And I'm Stuart.
Which you probably could have not guessed. I won't make you guys guess. That was my poor attempt at a Boston accent.
Is it town of Southie or whatever they call it?
He's from Providence. That's
God.
God. Okay,
God.
all right. I'm gonna stop.
I don't even know what accent it is supposed to be anymore.
Don't you know? I don't know why, but they're so close to Canadian, even though it's not really Canadian. I'm sorry if we offend anybody.
You're close to Canadian.
I'm closer to Canadian, I know. So I apologize to anybody who actually is from Boston for butchering your guys' accent, because I have no idea what that was. As you probably have figured out, this week we are covering The Departed, as we've been doing the last, I think, 4 weeks now, covering all the movies that we've seen partially before based on suggestions from our audience members and, you know, some of our friends as well. So if you guys have a movie you want us to review, definitely drop a like on the video or on the track, and then leave a comment
Wherever it is.
Yeah, wherever. It could be it could be on any of our platforms: SoundCloud, Google Play Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. I don't know. Just all kinds of things are happening. I could not stop laughing just listening to the two of you guys try accents on, and I couldn't do it either. So
none of us can do accents.
Yeah.
At least not like David can do the one accent, and that's about it.
That's what you mean, the accent that I try and then eventually it evolves into the Chinese guy?
No, I just mean the Chinese one.
Yeah.
You can do that.
That's not an accent.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, is your accent like is
American.
the accent? Yeah, no, is the way you're talking right now? Is that the accent you're putting on, and the other one, you know, the racist one? Is that your regular voice? Is that your regular?
I think it is.
Oh,
Which
I mean,
one?
makes sense.
This one?
It starts to.
one?
He has to be very vigilant to keep it from coming through, but sometimes he lets it slip.
Sometimes I really hurt to hold the accent. But this week we're covering The Departed. But if there's another movie you guys want us to check out, once again, you want us to give it the Cinco treatment, definitely let us know. So for this week, we also are covering Street Shark season 2 episode Street of Shark.
David, are you
season
drunk?
2, episode 9. No, not drunk.
I'm drinking.
This one is called Sharks of Steel. I kept thinking the Man of Steel, which is also that's Superman.
I thought you were trying to do an accent again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to do the accent.
You just tried it right there when you said accent.
So I don't know how tough it would have been for them to hold the accent throughout the entire movie, but we'll get into that point. So, what do you guys think of this week's episode of Street Sharks?
So what do we have do we have a recap of this episode? Because I watched it, but I feel like I forgot what happened in it.
In this week's episode, Ripster and the gang are close to being framed for releasing the newest villain that we got last week. I can't even remember his name.
The electric eel guy, or the
electric eel one. And that was part of Dr. Paradigm's scheme, is to create a robotic version of a street shark, which helps me. It almost kind of like reminds me of the RoboCop robot that he fought.
Oh,
Oh
like,
yeah,
I got
it kind of does look like that now.
Yeah, that was just like, wait a minute, which one came first? That was the thing. Which one came first? Do you think Street
RoboCop.
Sharks came first or
That's
RoboCop?
RoboCop.
RoboCop
Okay,
was
they're
from
just-
in the 80s.
You know.
Yeah.
So in the disguise of actually that movie's held up pretty decently. Well, I guess we know if there's no movie suggestions, we might have to review one of the RoboCops. And so Dr. Paradigm has the robot shark, and it breaks out Electric Eel Dude.
That's right. Okay, I'm on it.
And then they have to fight it, and then eventually it turns into like their servant.
Yeah, so I had a couple thoughts on this episode, which at least this was a step up again after it took several steps back from the previous episode, where the last week's episode 8, was just way. It seemed like we were talking about it was way lazy. It was last week or the week before, either way. But it seemed like the animation was back on par with what we've kind of grown accustomed to. I didn't see too many of those super extremely blatantly lazy shots. I mean, not to say that
There was
were-
one with the drill portion.
Not to
from
say
the
that they're
cave.
completely absent, but it wasn't so egregious as it was in one of the past 2 episodes.
I will say that there was one that kind of stuck out to me a lot.
Oh,
And this is me that's kind of like half watching it, but still getting enough of the plot and everything. And I mean, this one was just like, holy shit,
I'm curious if we're thinking of the same one, because I actually stopped it and took a screenshot of it so I could show you guys what I was talking
Wait,
about.
I also
Okay.
took a screenshot of the one I was thinking of.
Okay, hang on. Can we
Wait,
drop
wait.
screenshots in this into
Discord
Wait,
Discord? Okay,
wait, in Discord or
or
Skype or
Skype. Either one's fine.
whatever.
let's do Skype, because I don't want Discord to take over my microphone or
Oh,
something.
okay. All right,
Okay,
Skype.
fine.
I will be
Okay.
on there.
Okay, well,
Okay, on the count of 3,
okay.
we're
Release at
going
the same
to.
time.
Hang on.
I really hope it's the same one.
I don't have. Hang on. It's not. Hang on.
It's gonna be the same exact. Maybe that's what was causing the issue last time. Is I think Orville and Keith both had Discord open.
You're right. It was Orville and Keith's fault. Never again. This is Dos Cinco saying, "Get the fuck out of here, Orville and Keith. You're no longer welcome." I'm kidding. Please
right.
come back. We miss you.
Please, baby, come back.
We can't.
You can blame
These-
it
these
all
pot- these-
on Ben.
Us. Wait.
Yeah, Ben.
Okay, I had to take a smaller
Yeah.
screenshot of it. Okay, I'm ready.
On 3.
Alright,
1,
fine.
2.
Wait. Are we going on 3 or we?
Oh my
1, 2,
God!
3, and then
Just 1, 2, 3, and then go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Fuck. Oh wait. Oh damn it.
AMC.
Oh no. Okay, we're just.
Oh,
we're
no.
doing one.
Different ones. Oh no! Jesus, what the hell is that?
Those days were bring your kid to work
Yeah.
day.
So hopefully, we'll try to remember to include like links to these images that we just are showing each other right now.
Yeah, those will end up on the they'll end up on the YouTube video. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Um,
I'll put a note here.
put it in the thumb. We'll
Timeline.
work it into the thumbnail somehow.
Yeah.
But so I'll start with. I guess I'll start with mine. So this was a shot of Ripster after he's been captured in the shark-proof cage, and I don't know who the fuck animated. I want to know who animated these couple frames. It's like they've never seen what Ripster looks like. Like
No, that's an emoji of Ripster.
Yeah,
What-
go.
what is
Actually,
that?
is that the scene where the robot shark has him in the grasp, and then the drill is about to drill him, and he's holding it? I think that's this scene, right?
The one I posted is he's in the shark cage, and the electric or the robot RoboCop thing is like climbing in to fight him, and it's like swiping at him with the like that
Swipers?
saw arm or whatever.
Swiper, no swiping.
Yeah, swipe. Yeah. But that's where mine's from, and I saw it. It stood out to me just because
Ben,
like
where is yours from?
I don't even remember. I just remember seeing this. I'm like, Jesus, they literally just took a picture of a hammerhead shark and like traced over it.
Holy
Actually, here's
shit.
the thing: is I think this one might be a Darren special, like an MS Paint.
No, look
This
at
looks like
the
only-
arm. It doesn't even
But the only
attach
thing
to
is,
him.
it looks like his arm has another arm.
his eyes
Yeah.
don't even look.
Oh,
There's no
that's his
eyes.
eye.
They literally just traced over a picture of a hammerhead shark.
Bar. That's all I can see now. I can't unsee that.
Yeah, I know. And then shortly after, I think he yelled out "shark dive" and tried to go after the robot that was underground, and he literally just slammed into the ground and was like, "Ugh!" But he didn't dive into the ground or anything. He just hit the ground.
But so yeah, I guess these were our examples of our poor animation quality that we didn't care about as kids.
What the hell, man?
But I thought it was funny as far as getting back to like the main actual what happened in the episode. I thought it was a little weird. It seems like Fission Cities in the general public of Fission City seems to have kind of like the Superman / or like I don't know what you call it, the Clark Kent syndrome, where they can't recognize, like they can't discern like the street shark from a giant robot that has a street shark face painted on it. Like,
dang it! Those street sharks should add it again. It's like that's a robot
it's
that
clearly
has metal arms.
a giant robot that just has Ripster's face painted on it.
Although there was one part.
Painted well.
There was one part in the episode where I think they got lazy about like drawing a mechanical like shark with Ripster's face on it, and actually had Ripster's face on like.
I think I saw that. I know what you're talking about.
But it was just the top part of it. It wasn't like the full part.
No, it was like the full robot, right? Except it was just Ripster's face with like robot arms.
Yeah, because I remember thinking like, why does the robot's mouth suddenly look like it's actually has like gums and teeth?
Yeah, I think they literally just copy and pasted his face.
Yeah. But there was,
guys, this is our last hour of work. Nobody wants to create anything new, so
yeah, it was either it was probably animated on a Friday afternoon,
or on a Monday,
or on a Monday morning,
or a Wednesday,
or any day really.
just animate the American way, half-assed.
Yeah. But there was, I don't know if you guys got it. I took it as an Arnold reference. Did you guys catch it?
An Arnold reference?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Was it when Benz says something? I forgot what he says.
So yeah, I think you're on it, but it's basically like he's like, "Hey, what do you guys? Or how's the new shark copter going?"
Oh
or
yeah.
And what's his name, Benz or something? He says, it wants to pump you up.
You up, yeah.
So I was like, oh man, it's like, so the helicopter and then the pump you up part were the giveaways for me. That was fun little Easter egg.
Do you guys feel like I don't know, was this like a filler episode, or do you think this was canon?
I think
it was canon.
I think it's pretty close to the main arc, because it kind of ties into one of the previous episodes where Dr. Paradigm was kind of like alluding to like his actual plan, which was to like make this robot thing.
Because they use the Okami sphere, right?
Yeah, they use the Okami game sphere.
Yep, the Okami game sphere.
Did you guys prefer that episode, or did you guys prefer the episode with the Wii?
Oh, you're talking about South Park now?
No, we're talking about Street Sharks.
Oh, I must have missed that episode.
Yeah, it's the one where Ripster freezes himself into the ground so he can get the Nintendo Wii.
That's a tough call. I think to take a quick trip on down to South Park. Come on down to South Park. Yeah. I think the Wii one was probably my favorite, because it touches on this. It has like this mini arc in it where Cartman goes to the future.
Yeah.
And that's like, I was like, dude, I could watch an entire like season of this, like this story where Cartman is in like this futuristic, time, trying to like, because you see like it does like a little intro, like it's supposed to be like I think like supposed to be like Buck Rogers. But yeah, so I think that's my favorite one. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I vaguely remember. I just know that he froze himself, and then he was in the future, and he was just pissed because he didn't get his Wii. Yeah. That's all I remember.
Yeah. But they actually did like a lot of like world building in that episode. It's actually a two-parter, I think, but
Oh, really?
yeah, but yeah, it's like a lot of world building. Is really cool. So
Didn't he go back at the very end and then he froze himself again or something, and then he was in the wrong future at
Oh,
some point?
and then they also didn't have a Wii available.
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah,
Right.
after he freezes himself, goes to the future, goes through all his adventures, and then comes back, he gets sent back. He then gets a phone call at the end of the episode where he's once
Oh,
again he's
that's it.
telling himself from the future not to freeze himself.
Oh yeah, and they're all bouncing on shit. And okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, now I remember.
yeah. So I think that episode, as opposed to the Game Sphere one.
I don't know why I feel like I remember the Okami Game Sphere one so vividly. It's just like
Just because
the
it has
Wii one.
Cowley.
Yeah. I don't know why he's such a lovable character. Why is
The
everybody
lovable
love him so
scamp.
much? I know. For me, actually, I know that this is the last thing about South Park, and then we'll jump off and we'll go somewhere else. My favorite episode is actually the World of Warcraft episode.
I think that's a
That
lot of
one
people's
was
favorite.
done really well. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the last thing I'll say about South Park. Actually, I wanted to ask: did you guys ever play the South Park games?
Which one?
Stick of Truth or
Fractured butthole.
the Fractured Butthole.
The Fractured But Whole.
No,
No,
the fractured
butthole.
butthole. Yeah, the fractured butthole.
No, it's
Yeah.
the Fractured
The Fractured Butthole.
Hole. It's
Yeah, the
fractured,
fractured butthole.
but it is still whole.
Just say
Yeah,
it all together.
yeah, the
Yeah, you
fractured.
should just say it. Just say
Fractured Butthole. Okay. So if
I played the
I don't know.
N64 one where you could pee on a
Wow.
snowball
which one is that?
The N64 one. Everyone knew about that one.
yeah, it's the one you can throw snowballs. It was a first-person shooter. You throw
Oh,
snowballs,
yeah,
or you can
yeah,
pee
yeah.
on the snowball and it does more damage.
Well, so yeah, pretty much that's it for Street Sharks. We would do a box office rundown, but as you probably already know, all the theaters are currently closed
Still no
right now.
movies.
So yeah, so
There was
there are
some-
movies that are being released on demand. I know
Yeah,
that for a fact.
I saw it was like what people were watching Trolls or something.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we said I thought that actually came out before they closed all the theaters.
No, that was gonna release on the 9th regardless. So I think they just went straight to like Prime Movie or anything like that. But seeing as how the price of movies online are like what was that $20 $19.99 sounds about right average. Does
For a
that
movie ticket?
entice you guys to want to watch those on there?
They are a bit expensive.
Yeah, they're not like the $4.99 or $3.99 or $1.99 on regular Prime. It's like World Troll Tour. Let's see how much this one they're charging $19.99, $20.
I don't think you could pay me to watch that movie.
Well,
I
guess
might
what
watch-
our movie next week is.
And we're all chipping $1 in to do it.
That's $3.
Ooh, or we can watch Midsommar.
Nah.
That's on Prime. For free.
Did you watch it?
I have not, so
David
I
is
mean-
too scared.
I would almost want to say let's do it just so I can make David watch it.
dear God.
I
So
mean, as much as
next week we're going to be doing Office Space.
yeah, as much as I would like to subject David to a horror movie,
What?
I
Not
don't-
that one.
I don't think Midsommar is the one because I don't want to have to watch that again.
Okay. Okay.
But there is actually a request for Pet Cemetery,
The new one or the old one?
the new one.
Okay.
And
Who
if you want to
requested that?
watch if you want to watch the old one, we can watch the old one just for
Do a side by side like comparison.
the one from 1989.
That might be kind of cool thing to do, like to watch the original of something and then watch the reboot or the remake and like compare, contrast.
Could be cool.
Yeah, well,
Might be
think of
neat.
a couple of them, and then we'll take a look at it. So we'll just jump straight into our movie of the week. What?
Sorry, before we get into that, I did watch something that
Oh,
released
go ahead.
last week, and this I don't know. I don't know if either of you. I know David might kind of be familiar with the 40k universe, Warhammer 40k.
Oh, Astars?
Yeah,
Astartes?
the
Oh
Astartes.
my.
But
Okay. Can I
yeah,
say something before you start?
yeah.
I don't know anything about Warhammer at
Hmm.
all. Like I don't know anything about the lore. But
Right.
goddamn, I love watching those shorts. Like, holy fuck. How is this a fan made thing?
I seriously. So for anyone who doesn't know, there's a YouTube channel that's just called the Astartes. I think that's what it's called. But I looked up I wanted to see who animated it. It's the guy. It's his name is. Fuck! I just had it
Starties.
up here. God damn it. That's Siama. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Siama Peterson. I think he looks like he's from New Zealand. But anyways, he's basically a one-man animation team who made this 5-part series. It takes about 15 minutes to watch the whole thing. About the Space Marines from Warhammer 40k. And I gotta say, if whether you know nothing about 40k or you're like diehard 40k, this is like a really good watch. Like if you want to watch like a really good sci-fi just like short film, go check this out. It's called the Startes, Astartes, on YouTube. Go check it out. It's amazing.
Yeah, seriously. Like I said, don't know anything about Warhammer 40k. I just know of the short films and just not knowing any of the plot or anything, just looking at it is like, oh my god,
Yeah.
how can just one guy animate all of this, do all the sound design, make all these the settings, the
Yeah.
backgrounds, the backdrops, like the character interactions, it like, and not so much like how a character interacts with one person or another, like the physics of it, the weight of it, how
Mm-hmm.
visceral it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
This almost like warrants like an episode all on its own. Is the way it sounds like we're talking about it.
yeah,
Okay.
seriously.
We can
But I
talk.
don't know,
We can
David. Have you
talk.
seen any of these, or you've watched any
I
of them?
have not.
Oh,
So
okay.
it does intrigue me. That definitely would be something. So if you guys are all for it, I think we just pause Street Sharks and just watch that.
Nah.
I'd
What's
rather-
gonna happen to Ripster?
I'd rather just have this be like the movie of the week almost.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you said it's a 5-part series.
Yeah, but it only
Yeah.
takes like 15 minutes to watch it.
Yeah, each
Oh,
episode's
then-
pretty short.
But it's really
15
well
minutes
done.
each episode.
No,
No.
total.
Oh,
Did
like
you
5
watch
minutes
the
an
latest
episode?
one, Ben?
Yeah, I did. The part 5, right?
Part 5. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was the one with that orb thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
There's, like-
yeah. Ooh.
It's just like amazing how much like not just the animation because that's already for one person to do all this seems pretty goddamn amazing.
Yeah, it's like cosmic horror. It's crazy. I'm just like, oh my god, like they've fit a lot into 5 minutes, like this feeling of dread and and terror. It's
welcome
it's
to the
crazy.
40k universe.
Oh my god, there's 40,000 of these, man. Where do I start?
Yeah, what does the 40,000 mean? Is that the year 40,000?
Yeah, it's year 40,000. So, David, I thought you were somewhat familiar with 40k, having lived with Darren and Carl.
I listened to them babble through the walls and giggling about Space Marines and stuff.
But
I just played the 40k game. I didn't really know that much about the lore.
Okay, but yeah, just like the amount of lore this guy fits into this series, this short series, is amazing.
I think that might be a good episode for us to bring Darren and Thomas on.
Yeah, that might be pretty good.
Yeah, so we will have to extend an invitation. Darren and Thomas, look for your invitation in your mailbox. We'll be sending you a postcard.
Your physical mailbox.
Hopefully, the link is usually only good for about 7 days, so hopefully you get it by then, and the link is still active. Just remember, you have to put HTTPS ://
//
Oh no, this one's special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, //
I heard that if you put the link in with some dry ice, it won't expire as fast.
Yeah, but then it gets frostbite and it's no good. It doesn't taste the same. Well, whatever it is. But yeah,
Astartes YouTube, go check it out.
Great suggestions, Stu. Anything else, Ben? Have you seen anything else?
I think I rewatched the first season of Community on Netflix since it just came out again. Holy shit! I'm so happy right now. We're
Dong
getting
over.
that. We're getting fixed Simpsons seasons coming up later this month, I think, or either there in May. And Final Fantasy just came out. Jesus, what a time to be
Oh,
alive!
have you guys been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 7?
I've I've started playing it last night. I played for I don't know, a couple hours in. I think. I know
Bringing back memories.
Ben's probably
as a
finished
child.
with it already.
I'm not, because I keep fucking like
Side
grinding
quest.
and shit. Just like I'm like at that part where you can go to the Coliseum, you know?
Oh, I'm not there yet, so don't spoil, please.
Okay.
I didn't actually
Stu,
play
you
the.
played before, right?
I didn't play the original. I watched my friend play it.
Oh,
when I was a
okay.
kid.
I won't say anything. I won't say anything.
Yeah. Although I
But-
kind of remember. I think I kind of remember the Coliseum or something. But
Okay. Well, I just want to say it's a very nostalgic game. It definitely fits in a lot of the old beats that you you know, a lot of the major beats that you remember from the old game. It even fits in a lot of the stuff that you're like, they're not gonna, you know, put that in, and they find some glorious way to bring it back, you know. it's definitely a nostalgia trip. Not only that, but I think it's a very, you know, I was having some doubts with it. I thought that it wasn't going to be that well polished, but I will say, you know, there are some parts that are a little, you know, less polished than others, but the parts that are really shine, and I think it does more than make up for the rest of the flaws in the game.
Ben, it sounds like you have some background on this one. They said this is going to be episodic, right? How many of these are they going to come out with?
I actually don't know how many episodes they're going to do with this. Not only that, but it seems like they're changing the story a little tiny bit. I haven't finished it, and I do know that they added like some new story elements to the game. So I'm not really sure how this is all going to fit into the grand scheme of the story. So honestly, I'm kind of in the dark.
yeah, Thomas was telling me that this what they released doesn't even like scratch the surface of like the first disc of the original Final Fantasy VII.
Ooh,
Like
man.
that's what he was telling me. So
Yeah,
So
I mean,
they're
so
going to be
far,
milking
yeah,
this thing for a decade.
that's what it
probably. I
seems
mean,
like.
and I don't mind. This game is pretty damn fun. Yeah, go get
It's
Final
pretty
Fantasy.
good so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that a lot of people lost a lot of time playing Final Fantasy VII when it first came out on PlayStation 2.
One. Oh my God.
One. Wow.
I never played it.
Ooh.
Ooh, this man.
Boo
I'm
this
sorry.
man.
So, okay. Well, he's been lost in Final Fantasy. Let's see what else is there. How else has been safer at home been for you guys?
No complaints. I mean,
Yeah.
working from home is still crazy convenient.
Yeah, seriously. I got to cook ramen while I was working.
I know. See, I could probably do that if I just kind of did it throughout the day.
Yeah, do it.
I
It's
gotta
worth
go
it.
I gotta go get the stuff then, and I
Yeah.
should because there's no good ramen places near me.
Yeah, just do it. I mean, make your own.
Yeah, Stu's house.
Yeah. Ramen Stukosha.
Stucata.
Stukata.
There we go.
Stukata banai.
Hopefully, we don't get a copyright strike for that.
Have we gotten any copyright strikes yet?
We did on YouTube on a couple
Did
of
we
videos.
really?
Well, not copyright strike, but we got a restriction on a couple of videos I posted. So I would usually when usually when I think that's gonna happen, I'll make two versions of the video.
Mm-hmm.
One without the stuff that might be a problem, and then one with the stuff that could be a problem.
Okay.
So when that happens, I usually I'll take it down and I'll put up the no fun one. That's what I call them, the no fun version.
Wait, did you put a song or something, or was it something that Ben
Like
or
audio
I or
clip
you
of
did,
like
hummed?
No, it'll be like an audio clip from a song. So like for example, in the Space Jam episode, as the outro music, I tried to put in a little bit of the Space Jam theme song, but they were like,
Oh,
"Nah,
it
dude,
caught you right away.
nah, dude, we ain't having that." So
Wait,
Did you
can-
pay for this? No.
Can we have a fun episode with Spanish Flea just to see, you know, if
all
we
right,
can?
well, our next technical difficulty, I'll try to see if it works.
Wait, so all I have to do is just make a technical difficulty.
I just have to-
You don't have to. The last episode of technical
Oh,
difficulty.
I can't
and
hear you,
Steve-
David. Oh, my sound isn't working. Oh, this is terrible.
Okay, let me fix it. Let me kick Ben off, and we won't have that technical difficulty anymore. It'll just be me and Stuart running this for the rest of it. So all right, we'll jump straight into our movie of the week this week. It is The Departed. That's the only accent I promise I will try.
No,
No,
there's
he's not.
going to be
That's
more.
not gonna.
He's gonna
Yeah,
do
there's
more.
gonna be some
No,
quotes. So
It's okay if you quote it, but if you start trying to like you start trying to riff, that's when it starts to fall apart.
All right, I was gonna say what I was gonna say. All right, Ben, what do you got for us?
Oh, fuck, I forgot to.
Do you want to be a cop, or you only look like a cop?
You
Are you a
know,
rat?
the movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio as a rat and Mark
Who
Wahlberg
cooks?
as a rat.
Oh,
Everyone's a rat.
It's Ratatouille in Boston.
he's a rat. Okay, I think that's all we're gonna get out of Ben.
That was good
Yeah.
enough. I mean, everyone's seen Departed, right?
I would
Actually,
hope so.
Maybe not
This was my
everyone,
first
but-
time.
What?
No,
Okay,
really?
here's the thing. Okay, so I claim that I kind of watched it, and that's why I never went ahead and actually gave it a full watch during high school when we were. Whose class was I in? It was one of the religion teachers. I can't remember who. It was in the middle of the year, and he didn't know what to do, so we just watched The Departed.
Patton?
No, not Patton.
It wasn't
big guy.
Hoffman, was it?
It might have been Hoffman or the guy.
Not gonna
Not
work.
good.
It was a bigger guy with white hair.
Ski?
Yeah, Mr. Ski. Yeah,
He was a religion teacher?
I think.
I don't know that.
Right.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. Well, we were watching religion class, and I was kind of half watching.
Thanks,
'Cause-
Damien High School Education, for letting us watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember one day I watched 300, and then we watched Transformers, and then we watched The Departed
Nice.
in
think
separate classes.
I think I started a trend in my class that I actually think I heard other people. Not that I'm trying to take credit for it, but I like to think that I can take credit for it. Where we started watching Family Guy in Father Cronin's class, and then like several years after high school, I heard like other people mention that they had watched or were watching Family Guy in their class. So I was like, oh,
How does that make you feel?
makes me feel pretty good. Like I left my mark on the world. Like I
That
accomplished.
they've run out of things to teach, and then they just watched Family
I mean,
Guy.
everyone did that. Or I mean, like they ran out of something to teach, and then they showed
Yeah.
you something.
Or they just
I
came in
don't
and
want to
just
wear the stupid hat.
they just didn't want to do anything that day, so we just watched stuff.
Like
So,
every day.
Yeah.
Like go to Sims class. What are we gonna
I'm
do?
sure-
Here's V for Vendetta again.
I'm sure our parents would be so happy to hear. Yeah, we spent all this on your education. You guys spent it watching movies in class.
Yeah.
What'd you guys learn today? We read a book. Oh,
Rel-
okay.
Yeah. Well.
On TV. I guess we'll start with. I don't want Ben to be influenced by me and Stu's opinion, so we'll just let Ben go first.
Yeah, I want to hear it. Yeah, because
Yeah,
since
Ben,
this is
thoughts
Ben's
on
first
general.
view,
Yeah, general thoughts on this movie since you didn't really get to see it all in its full glory the first time.
Yeah, so the first time I watched it, here's the thing. So it was kind of difficult to go into this a little unbiased because I already knew all the major plot points that were going to happen, you know? Like,
Is
I
it because
do-
you were like, oh, I saw the Korean or Japanese one, and blah.
Actually, it was the Chinese one, and it was called Infernal Affairs. So this movie is actually based. Okay, I'm not even gonna go down that route, but that part was kind of true. Anyways, I did know all the major plot points just because it was in the background of the classroom, even though I was playing like fucking Mario Kart.
Yu-Gi-Oh or
and DS.
fucking nerd.
Fine, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. Is that what you want to hear, Stu?
Hey,
I was running the chaos.
There's
fucking
nothing
Chaos
wrong with
Emperor
playing a
Dragon
Yu-Gi-Oh and a
deck.
Pokemon.
All right.
Hey, you back off, Stu. Ben, you talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon if you want to. Continue.
Okay, the year was 2007. Invasion of Chaos just released. So yeah, a lot of the movie was on in the background, and I was kind of half paying attention, so I knew who was gonna die. I knew who was gonna get backstabbed or whatever, right? So unfortunately, a lot of the major events of the movie were not big surprises, or they didn't have the same kind of tension or build up as they did if someone went into this movie blind. However, I will say, even knowing all that stuff, it was still really, really stressful. Like, what when you go into a movie that you've seen before, like when you're a kid rewatching Lion King, and you just see like Mufasa like climbing up, and then Scar like kicks on like long live the king and shit, and there's like a part of you that it's like maybe this time he's gonna live. You have like this really naive hope that you're like maybe it won't happen
It'll
this
be
time.
different this time.
Yeah, it'll be different because I really like this guy, or I just don't want this to happen. Well, that was kind of like what I was going through. It was like, man, it really sucks for this character. Or, hey, this is a really shitty situation. Maybe, you don't do that, or you don't be a piece of shit or something, but it happens anyways. And I gotta say, like,
if you could really help it, just don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's I really liked it because what was it? Martin Scorsese, he directed this. Same guy that did Irishman, same guy that did Goodfellas, and it kind of started the same way. It had a narrator kind of narrating what's happening, had a kid growing up, getting dragged into this life of crime. How do you do it and all that? But it takes this like unexpected turn by introducing Leonardo DiCaprio, and suddenly we got two vantage points. We got like, this kid who was brought up and he was brought into his life of crime, and this other kid who was pretty much like the opposite. He was brought into his life of crime and he wants to like do good in the world. He wants to become a cop. And so you're kind of
a cop.
He wants to be a cop.
I know
what you look like a cop.
I know what you're not.
Continue, Ben.
We'll get to
those
later.
The only quotes. Those are the only quotes we're going to get out of us because we don't know any other ones.
Oh no, I got some more. Don't you worry.
Well, yeah. I got some more. David doesn't.
Oh, okay.
I know that. Do you have any more?
Because they all turn Canadian
or Jamaican
or Chinese.
Maybe fuck yourself.
Yeah, that was it.
I can't
Great.
know. Was it?
Maybe
no,
not.
it was horrible.
Yeah, that was. That one was my favorite, and you fucked it.
Yep.
What do you fucking do, man?
That wasn't a quote from the movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah, when Mark Wahlberg says "whoop de fucking do."
Hey, Jack Nicholson, man.
Hey, with the bobsled.
That's all right. I didn't mean to derail it. I saw the opportunity. Went after it. All right, Ben. Any other thoughts before you give us your rating?
I will say that the casting for this was really fucking good. Like that kid at the beginning, like when they flash forward to him being, in the first 5 minutes, when they flash forward to that kid being Matt Damon, that kid looked exactly like Matt Damon.
That's like kid version Matt Damon.
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
think little known fact, they actually shot that part of the film 30 years before the movie actually filmed, so that actually was Matt Damon.
Wow. Damn, Matt Damon, you did it again.
This concludes things you say with enough confidence you don't know if they're not true or not.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't have
I don't know enough about Matt Damon to dispute it.
Yeah, I will have to say for this movie I would give it like a 9.5, solid 9.5.
That's pretty good from our harshest critic on the podcast.
Well, especially since it doesn't have any anime or
actually, so this was actually based off an old 1970s anime broadcasted in North Korea.
hey, you're taking my bit here. That's my segment.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then we'll just jump over to Stu. Stu, thoughts on The Departed?
I think I would hope we're all in agreement here. The Ben was the one I was worried about, but we'll see. But
there's no anime fighting.
yeah.
There was too many lightsabers in this one. 2 out of 10.
But as our group of friends may know, mainly people like Orville and Keith, and some of the other ones. This is one of those movies similar to last week when we did Step Brothers, where we quote it pretty frequently, whether we really acknowledge it or not. And sometimes even if you just say something tangentially related to the quote, it'll like force the quote out of us. Like it's like a inadvertent reaction or a reflex. Um, but yeah, not only is this movie super quotable for us, which it's, for me, that's a good thing. Um, just like kind of what Ben was saying, the cast was amazing. It has had so many big names, and not just big names, but like they they played their part extremely well, from Matt Damon to Leonardo DiCaprio, Alec Baldwin, Mark Wahlberg, uh, what's his name, Martin Sheen, like everyone was, even like the lesser known actors. Like at the time, I don't think Anthony Anderson was as big
I know. I was so
back
surprised when
then.
I saw him. I'm like, what the fuck? Where Scary Movie 3? What are you doing?
That's because it's a rat, fool. But yeah, the casting and just this,
It's a rat, fool.
uh, but yeah, just the the just the way everything, this whole story, just the way they told the story from both kind of like opposite viewpoints. It's probably one of my favorite things about this movie, and I got to say, it's probably if it's not my favorite um crime movie or Martin Scorsese movie, it's definitely, like, if I can't think of another one, it's definitely my number one as far as, like, crime slash kind of Martin Scorsese movies go. So yeah, I would definitely give this a 10 out of 10.
Ooh, ooh.
For me, I would give it a 9 out of 10. It holds a lot of value, but in terms of like overall favorite, I really like The Usual Suspects. That one I really, really enjoyed because I do like Kevin Spacey. That
is
one's
a
a
good
really
one.
good movie. Especially since after the first time watching it, even though first time I watched it, it was like, what? No way. And then even watching it like a second time, like 5 years later, I was like still thrown off. I was like, wait, how? What? What the heck? How did that happen? And so it'd been a while since I had seen this movie. I had seen The Departed, and so it kind of threw me for a loop. And I was like, I don't remember anything past the point when he joins the Jack Nicholson. What is the name? Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
He joins
Yeah,
Jack Nicklaus on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh crap. And then he turns into Happy Gilmore. Yeah, when he joins Jack Nicholson's like gang, I don't remember anything that happened after that. It was like almost like watching a brand new movie all over again.
Oh,
And
good
the
for
ending
you.
was like, what the heck? Yeah, so yeah, 9 out of 10 for sure. I definitely was really happy that we got to enjoy that once again. I'm a little bit saddened that we didn't get to get Keith and Orville on here because I really kind of wanted to see which quotes they were going to go with. And then,
I'm pretty sure we nailed most of them already, but
so yeah. Any other thoughts before we jump into the spoiler zone?
do you guys think? I don't know. This isn't really a spoiler. Maybe it's a spoiler. I'll proposition it to you in the spoiler zone.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, if that'll do it for this this portion, let's talk really quickly about the movie that we're gonna do next week, and then we'll jump into the spoiler zone. Next week we are doing the Office Space.
Is that courtesy of? Because I think this week it was Orville and Keith who suggested Departed.
Yep,
That's correct.
That's true.
Okay, so yeah, who is this courtesy of?
This is courtesy of a Kevin Bowie.
So
okay,
check your mailbox for a postcard.
Wait, okay, is that one supposed to be Chinese, or is that supposed to be a Boston accent?
Oh,
that was like kind of walking that line.
A Chinese Boston guy.
Yeah, the border between China and Boston.
We are so close.
Actually, hey, there were Chinese in this movie.
Hey, there were.
Yeah.
Oh wait, oh, spoiler.
Actually, no, that part's not that big of a spoiler. If you watch the first 10 minutes, you'll figure that part out.
Really?
them
The
being
first
involved is
10 minutes. The first 10 minutes they mentioned that.
20 minutes.
Yeah, you don't remember
fir-
when Jack Nicholson was like, by the way, we got a meeting with some Chinamen 45 minutes into the movie. So
And then he pulls his eyes back into a slant and goes,
yeah.
Me so sorry. I saw. What?
Spoiler zone.
spoiler
Right,
zone.
yeah, we're gonna
Here we
go
are.
into the spoiler zone. All right, we're in the spoiler zone.
Wow.
I love what you've done with the place. I've said that before.
You know what's really weird? I told you the wrong address for the spoiler zone. And you still showed up.
You
You still showed
the
up.
mail still showed up.
Oh my god.
All
Why
right,
didn't
I
I
gotta
tell-
know. So,
why didn't
what
I
does
tell
that?
anyone?
Does that mean he actually was a cop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was earlier in the movie. I actually didn't catch this until this time I watched it. There was mention in the movie earlier about Boston Police Department having undercover in the in his organization.
Already?
Yeah, and so when that guy at the end of when that guy gets killed and they reveal it on the news, they say it's the Boston police officer,
Informant.
undercover police
Oh, okay.
officer, which is different from the state police who were following the rest of the movie with.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
There were
that guy.
so many threads in this movie. I could not keep track of everything.
Yeah, and I really, I don't know. That part, I couldn't remember how many different, rats there were throughout the movie, or how many different.
Apparently, everyone's just a rat.
Yeah,
That's actually the exact thing that I think they were trying to is a rat is just somebody. Everybody's a rat. It just depends on if the opportunity rises, right?
Yep.
I mean, even Jack Nicholson's like character, he even is willing to, feed the FBI his two informants inside just to save his own skin. Right, you would think that guy would probably want to protect his moles as much as possible, but he doesn't care.
Nope.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I don't know, like the last portion of the movie really kind of drives its point, like that it's just this big cruel cycle, like Leo, this guy that you've been like rooting for this whole time, he's trying to do the right thing. He's like rising up, he's been through hell, and he finally gets Matt Damon, goes down the elevator, and you don't even see it coming. The elevator just opens and pop. Leonardo gets DeCaprio'd.
Oh wow, man!
That should have not been in the spoiler zone.
When you so Ben, let me ask you, when did you write? How long did it take you to write down that one?
Letty came up with it.
Thanks, Letty.
Thanks, Letty. Can we trade Ben out for Letty? Because apparently she's pulling all the strings.
Hey,
Gold.
She's my writer. Yeah, I don't lose.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
I can't
my
do it
Nick
without my
Cage.
staff. I can't do it without my staff. Yeah, like when that scene happens, it's just so fast, right? He gets popped, and then Matt Damon pops that guy. It's just like this big.
Anthony
nest.
Anderson gets popped.
I know Anthony Anderson gets popped. Everyone gets popped. It's like, and then
Matt Damon gets popped.
I know, and Marky Mark is just like, say hello to mother.
Survivors. No
It's
survivors.
Die for fucking your my father. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest gut punch of what I can think of, like recent movie history, where Leonardo gets shot in the head, like right as the elevator door opens.
I know it's not even satisfying. Like it ends.
Like, no, he was about
it
to
happens
win.
so. Yeah, it happens so fast. You don't have time to react to it. It's not like something so drawn out, like what the police captain's name? I can't remember. The guy who was in charge of the
Queenan.
Yeah, when he gets thrown off the roof, right? That was like long, drawn. Yeah, and then like Leo gets like time to kind of take in that moment, and he all these emotions are flowing through him, but he has to like bottle it up. Like with Leo, he gets popped, and it's just over. It's over. The guy pretty much says, "Hey, move on. We gotta do something else." And before you have time to even process that part, Matt Damon gets this guy, and it's just like, Jesus, you know, it really kind of drives this point home that, like, you know, it's this cruel cycle, and it just keeps going and going, and then Marky Mark gets him in his own home. It's crazy.
Yeah, as sad as it was to see Leo get it,
Yeah,
it was at least somewhat comforting to to watch Marky Mark get the last laugh there.
yeah. I mean, as much as he was like an asshole to everyone, like
Oh,
he was still, you know, trying to do the what he believed was the right thing, right?
yeah, he was an asshole, and I
Yeah,
think that's part of the you know, he was like a, you know, he's an asshole, but he's like he said in the, as much as we like laugh at the quote, he's the guy that does his
his
job.
job. Yeah, he
So
must be the other guy.
yeah, you must be the other guy. So yeah, as much as an asshole as he was, he did do his job. Like he knew what his job was and he did it. Um,
Yeah, and let me say, like the first few minutes with Marky Mark and Leo, that really kind of sold me on like staying on the edge of my seat the whole movie, because it was Leo's performance that was really just exacerbated by Mark. It
mhm.
was him just like pounding on him, you know, for like 10 minutes straight, like, you know, just wailing on him, like just calling him all these names. And Leo, like every time it cuts to his face, he gets like a new shade of red. It
Yeah,
was crazy. He was just shaking there. And I don't know how he did it. You know, he's just turning redder and redder and redder. It looked like he was gonna blow up. And he had like this look. I don't even know how he like exhibited like so much restraint, or it looked like he was exhibiting so much restraint. You know, how do you do that? It was crazy. How did he not get an Oscar for this? How did it take him like, I don't know, 20 years from then to get
because
an
you know,
Oscar?
the Academy
Well,
apparently.
actually, if you think about it, if it wasn't for the fact that they snubbed him a bunch of times, he wouldn't have kept coming out with great performances.
Mm.
It was a
What if
vicious
he might have
cycle.
just hung? Yeah, what if he just like hung it up and just like, man, I really gotta try harder,
Man, that
right?
was really great, Leo. Then you were great in Titanic, and then he just produces a bunch of shit movies after that.
That reminds me of, what was that movie Whiplash? You guys see that?
Oh, the drumming movie, right?
Yeah, about how, what was it, like the teacher's whole philosophy was like, yeah, if I told you did a good job, then you're not going to try harder. You know, maybe that's the Academy's way. You know, saying
I
like,
guess.
yeah, you did a good job, Leo. No, we know you could do better,
Yeah.
so you're not going to get this Oscar.
You know, that's interesting. I never thought about it that way. Maybe it's the Academy's, that's their way of saying, like, when they give it to someone like early in their career, that's their way of saying, yeah, kind of, you can fuck off now. We don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
want to see you anymore.
yeah,
Uh, so yeah, that's pretty
But
interesting.
it's really funny that they rewarded him for the one in The Revenant. Out of all the
yeah.
movies, that's probably my least favorite one, or one of my least favorite renditions of portrayals that he did. I mean, I'm sure it was good, but it's, I don't know. We're just so used to. I think it's also just we're so used to seeing him in such great roles, and then
Yeah.
him just nailing it every single time. I think for me, just watching him throughout the entire movie, slowly kind of like decaying, right? He, by the end of it, doesn't care about a single thing. He just wants to go back to being normal. Doesn't want to be a cop. Doesn't want, like, yeah, he wants his money so that way he can kind of like, kind of slog off and take some time for himself or something, just to be able to kind of like gather himself. But he doesn't give a shit about anything else. He just wants to be left alone. He doesn't want to have to do this anymore.
Well,
So,
actually, I would argue that he does deteriorate, and it looks like he's losing sight of everything. But through it all, like almost everything is shed, and I would say that he still has this sense of like righteousness, of justice still there. That he gets, you know, Matt Damon on the roof, and you know, as he's taking him in, he's like, you know, like, you know, do the math, Einstein. What do you think is going to happen? You know, there's no way you're going to win this. He's like, I don't fucking care. I'm going to do this, because it's not so much that he wants his identity back or whatnot. You know, he wants to bring him in and still, you know, feel like he did something right. You know, like this whole time, you know,
it was
being brought into
worthwhile.
prison,
I
going,
see.
you know, going undercover. He wanted something to prove that he was doing something with his life, and I think that was it. You know, like his whole identity and everything, like saying that he wants his life back. He wants to be able to say like who he is, right? And I think that was going to be one of the definitions of his life, that he was going to at least say like he brought in
Yeah,
somebody, even if he didn't have an
like if his entire because his entire family was kind of a bunch of like screw ups, right? Like none of them really
So like
amounted to anything.
low level
Mhm.
criminals.
But the
Yeah,
crazy thing is, why didn't they want to take him in the first place? Like
because
he
of
had a
that.
1400 on the SAT. He's clearly very bright, and they're giving him a bunch of crap for it. Is it just because he had a bad background? That's why they didn't trust him to become a real cap.
Yeah, that's what I really enjoyed about it, because it was Matt Damon and Leo were so juxtaposed. They were so on different sides. Leo came up from shit, and he, through hard work and through great effort, he tries to become a cop, and it doesn't work out for him. Whereas, you know, Matt Damon, it also happens for him. He came from a life of crime and everything just happened to work out for him. He's got natural charisma. He's got it all. It just so happened life worked out for him. Whereas Leo, through all of his effort, it didn't.
So, all right. Any other thoughts about this? About the Deported?
Definitely one of
Yeah.
the great.
So I was gonna ask you guys before we jumped in the spoiler zone, because one of the things that I think is great about this movie, and probably with a lot of Scorsese movies, is like the I don't want to call it like, it's kind of like this fearlessness of the way that they have the characters interact, where it's like, because like, if you were, I was going to ask you today, like I was going to slap the screenplay for The Departed down on someone movie executive's desk in 2020, how much of the dialogue do you think would get taken out? Like, does this movie get made the same way today as it did back in 2006?
I would. Yeah, I think I know what you're kind of going at, and I would say, yeah. I don't think, a lot of the language is there to be actually derogatory or anything.
Yeah,
But
and
I
that's
think
kind
it's
of
scene setting. I think it's really scene setting for
yeah,
them.
I mean, like this is the way they interact. This is like the type of environment that these
right,
people are in. I think that's the kind of
right,
language,
and
or
which,
that's the reason they're using that
yeah,
language.
and while I completely agree that it is kind of like, it's like setting the
Tone.
environment, the tone of
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like a lot of people, when they like, a lot of people just seem to hate these types of this type of language simply for it existing. Like, there's no context to it for them. It's like, in this way it was used, it provides a lot of context to what you're seeing,
yeah,
how the character behaves and all this stuff, or what
yeah,
they're dealing with.
totally.
So but having said all that, some people don't seem to really care. They just don't want that kind of language or behavior just at all. They just want it, completely removed, scrubbed. So I was just curious if you guys thought that, whether it would be made the same way or not today.
I think for a movie like this, it would. But, or sorry, what were you saying, David?
Um, I think Stu's probably right in the setting that we have currently right now. A lot of people are very on edge um, when it comes to just like this use of vulgarity, especially in a very, it's very generous in how often it uses it. But I think we're in a weird situation now because a lot of people they care less about what other people think. So I think in that sense, I think the movie would probably be made in the same way, but it might be a little bit more egregious. I think in general they were pretty conservative in when they were using it. Right, it had to be a tense scene. Right, it had to portray just kind of like the fact that it gets used a lot is just very lowbrow, right? It's not very high intelligence, right? And that's kind of like how you have to portray a, um, a gangster or a thug or a mafia like mobster, right? They don't go to college most of the time. They don't, unlike Matt Damon's character who goes to the academy, well spoken, very charming and that kind of stuff. I think I think in general, I think we might end up seeing a very similar movie. I think we would probably see a little bit more violence, and I think that might have taken away from it.
Yeah, for a movie like this, I think I agree with David. It would definitely be produced in the same way, especially with a name like Scorsese under your belt.
Yeah.
I don't
Assuming,
think.
I don't think Scorsese gives two flying shits. He would make it however he wants.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Taxi Driver, he was one of the characters who said that kind of shit.
Yeah, if he wants to make a 3-hour movie, then
just
you
racial
get,
slurs. He's gonna fucking make it.
Well, isn't that exactly what The Irishman is?
Yeah,
It's like 3 straight hours of just racial slurs.
no, it's 3.5 hours.
That's right. You don't tell Scorsese when you cut.
Yeah,
He tells you when he's done.
Yeah,
It's done.
But
How much editing have you done? None. We don't need to.
How many
Okay,
N-bombs
perfect.
have you dropped? Not enough.
Just-
All right.
Okay, just double over some of those with some.
Why is he Chinese now, David?
I don't. What?
you gotta get your accents in order, man.
Sorry, that was my American accent.
No, I don't even know which one's which.
Excellent.
This is my American accent.
How else are you? How else do you speak?
Speaking of speaking,
You speak in my language.
speaking of speaking, since I guess we're kind of getting close to the end here. Anyone wanted to say what their favorite quote was if they haven't said it already?
Oh, mine's still the same one from before.
Which one's that?
Do you want to be a cop or you only look like a cop?
Oh, okay, that was your quote.
That was it.
Okay.
What was yours, Stu?
Ben?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. So
If you have
one,
a couple, you can say a couple.
okay, one is the
I could see. I could sense his hesitation for just having to.
because I don't want to just list the entire script of the movie. But
All right, we'll give you 2 minutes. You can name as many quotes as you can.
No, I'm just gonna do
We'll count
two.
them up.
I just got two. One of them I can't even really quote because it's such a good line, but I can't even quote it. But the first one is when the one random cop is like, you got a guy in Costello's organization, and Mark Wahlberg says maybe not, maybe fuck yourself. That was my one favorite. And the other one is actually Alec Baldwin, who pretty much anytime Alec Baldwin and Mark Wahlberg were on the screen, it was gold.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Wait, it's because he was like a sweaty mess the entire time, no matter
He was
what
almost
he was
like
doing.
it was almost like Jack Donaghy. What's his name?
Donaghy. Yeah, it's Donaghy.
Yeah, Donaghy.
Jack Donkey. Yeah,
Yeah,
Donkey.
from it's like
Three
it's like
types
him,
of
except
heat.
as a cop. But
Got 3 types of heat.
it was when they were doing the 3 types of. It was when they were doing the stakeout for the when they were about to try to bust him for the deal with the Chinese guys,
Yeah.
and he's all like excited about the setup, and he's walking past Matt Damon, and he's like I'm gonna go take a smoke break. You want to take a smoke break? Oh wait, you don't smoke? What are you, one of those fitness freaks? Go fuck yourself. He just doesn't even let him get a word in. What's all right, Ben? What's yours?
This one was kind of obscure, but I just liked the delivery on this line for Matt Damon. It was when Matt Damon was talking with Alec Baldwin while he was on the driving range. Golfing.
I think I know which one you're gonna say.
Yeah. It was just like they were talking about marriage or something, about his wedding, and it was going great.
Oh, that's how they know you're not a faggot.
No. It was like what was it?
He's like, oh, my cock's working overtime. That one.
Yeah, that was it. It was like
And then Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, ladies see the ring. They know immediately you must have
You got money,
some cash, or your cock must work. And then Matt Damon's just like, yeah, it's working. And then he just takes this long pause. He's just like, overtime. It's just like, what the fuck?
I like
then,
Alec Baldwin's response to that.
Yeah, it's like, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Thanks, boss.
Yeah, glad to tell your boss that your dick
works.
Overtime.
Overtime.
Okay, out of all of the guys, if you had to rank accents, top 3 accents, who would you give it to?
Like, who did their accent the best?
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
I mean, I would probably say Mark Wahlberg because he's
Yeah.
from Boston, I think.
You would hope he'd be really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gotta be Mark.
Number 2 and number 3.
I'd say Alec Baldwin and Matt Damon.
Okay. So that's the reason why DiCaprio did not win a Academy.
Because I didn't rate him in top 3 as accents.
Because he could. It's the Cinco bump. If you don't get the Cinco nod, then
the
you don't
retroactive
get.
Cinco
That's
bump.
right. You don't get the Oscar.
Yeah, you hear that? 2006.
Take that. If you, I wanted to pose this before we go ahead and wrap this one up. If you guys had to pick a role, which one would you have rather been in Matt Damon's shoes or in Leonardo DiCaprio's shoes?
Oh, that's a shit. Is this like knowing
You
how
will. Yeah,
they both end up?
Exactly. Knowing how they both ended, you know, they both do die. Which role would you have preferred?
I think I'd rather be Leo because they show you that, like, even after he dies, like, he is kind of like hailed as a hero.
He gets the Medal of Honor, right?
Yeah, like at his funeral, he gets the full, policeman funeral, or police officer or whatever funeral, ceremony. It's kind of like, and it'd be like, pretty amazing story to hear about. And then we don't see it, but you can probably just imagine what happens with, like, after the fact with Matt Damon's character, like the shit show that must have happened afterwards. So I would say Leo.
Do you think this? Ben, I'll let you answer that one as well.
Oh, I'd rather be Matt Damon, hands down. Like,
interesting. So we have
Matt Damon the person or Matt Damon the character?
No, you have to.
Matt
because
Damon,
if you're asking
the one
me
on,
the person
on Mars, that one, the one that got stranded on Mars, that one.
Yeah, Billy Costigan or Colin Sullivan.
Wait, was that an accent?
No.
No.
If it was good, then yes. Was it good? Then yes. If it wasn't, then no.
Yeah, I would be rather.
Oh,
be Matt
great!
Damon
Yes, I'll keep doing it. Yeah, because I couldn't let you guys pick Sergeant Dingham. I mean that Mark Wahlberg's character gets the ultimate send off.
Yeah, no.
I really wish that we had gotten a chance to see more of him. If they hadn't axed off. Do you think if they had not killed off Matt Damon's character at the very end, and they made a second movie where Dingham is trying to chase down Sullivan, would you guys have wanted to watch that, or do you guys like how it ended?
I like
knowing that was the
I don't.
Okay.
I feel like maybe this is just like because like hindsight, but I feel like trying to make a second movie out of that would just be like a shameless kind of cash grab.
Yeah,
where like
agreed.
probably not even the original actors would return. So
yeah, definitely. I'm definitely 100% with Stu on that.
So I'm Team Leo and Ben is Team Matt.
Yep. I mean, because Matt Damon, he had a pretty good life and everything up until like the fucking very end.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Stu on this because even though,
yeah, but how do you live with yourself, Ben?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't. I die at
knowing
the
that
end.
you're a rat knowing that you're a rat bastard.
Ben, how do you sleep at night? On a large pile of money with many beautiful women.
Oh, well, just the one.
Just asking.
Yeah.
That was the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Just making sure.
But I think for Sullivan, his life is much harder. Trying to lead that double life, where he's trying to cover up the fact that he is something everybody despises, right? Yeah. As opposed to Costigan, who's infiltrated, who's doing a good, doing what a citizen's work, right? Like helping out everybody in that community, trying to clean it up by taking down this this mob boss and stuff. So I think I would have to agree, even though the way he dies is really unsettling and unsatisfying.
No, at least it was quick, and he probably didn't even know it happened. So
yeah. Well,
whereas Matt Damon got to have that few seconds of oh my god, I'm gonna die.
All right.
I actually the first time when he got shot right out of the elevator, I thought it was Anderson's character.
He raced the elevator down to shoot him.
I was like, man, that big guy can run.
He's a running back. They mentioned it in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, 6 feet of 6 floors. Any other thoughts before we wrap this one up?
I know what you are. I know what you're not. You're not a co-op. Okay, that's it.
Ben?
It's a toy. That one.
What? Whoop-de-fucking-do.
I love that character. The leprechaun.
Hoity-toity-toy.
Nothing to see. Move along now.
Do you think it was weird that they both fell in love with the same girl?
I think it kind of drove. The whole theme of them being on like two different sides of the coin.
And she's the coin.
Ooh,
hello.
Interesting. Well, we don't have another half an hour to talk about that, so we'll just leave that there if you want to talk to Stu about coins.
Okay. Please don't talk to me about coins.
He is a huge coinophile.
Okay.
What it's called?
Okay, Chris Hansen.
That coin.
You said this coin was 18 years old, but this coin was only 12 years old. Stu,
what
are you doing here? I thought some of the lines were just weird. I really was kind of hoping that I'd watch this with you guys, because when the Chinese guy was talking, I was just gonna say, "China's still cool. You pay later." All right. We'll go ahead and wrap this one up. So next week we will be covering Office Space. We may have a special guest. If you have any suggestions on a movie that you would like us to be able to review with you or instead of you, it's fine, I guess. Suggest it in the comments, and we'll go ahead and review it. I'm not doing an accent. Stop laughing in the background. So that'll pretty much do it for us on this week's episode of Dos 5incos. Make sure to catch us each week on your favorite medium platforms: Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Google Play Music, and Apple Podcasts for TVs and movies and general shenanigery. Don't forget to tune in also each Wednesday at 7 on Twitch. This week I will be streaming. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit easier for the Cinco Boys Game Time Vision Deluxe Turbo and Knuckles. When whatever game we're playing, I have no idea at this point. We'll see what other suggestions come up. So till next time, don't forget to tip your Reiki masters. And I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart,
and I'm not a fucking rat. I'm Ben.
Okay, boy.
Did it. I'll see you on the next one. Party toy.
That's definitely staying in.